Reason my first guest today has been performing as Roy Orbison for over 20 years. He is not only the most loved tribute artist, but the longest running Roy Orbison tribute artist in Australia. Dean Bourne is back. He's coming to the Frankston Arts Centre and he's bringing all Big O's hits with him as well. He joins us online right now. Nice to have you with us, pal. How are you?
Thanks, Lee. Nice to be with you, mate. Thank you.
Mate. Yeah, sorry for that little hiccup there today, and I don't know what you could hear, but the microphones all went out on us.
I could hear that. That's fine, mate. That's show business, isn't it?
Well, it is indeed. It means one studio to the next studio, so everything's got to transfer across, and I'm still trying to settle into the new studio. But
we're here. It's all good.
We'll be right, mate, as it goes on. Roy Orbison, tell us, what's the fascination with him?
Oh, geez, I've loved Roy since I was a little boy, and fortunately for me, I grew up in a musical household, and mum and dad. Mum played the piano, and my father was a wonderful singer in his own right. So I was very lucky to grow up listening to all the music of the 50s and 60s, and just fell in love with the music, and then I heard Roy's voice. And here we are ever since. I've just been very, very fortunate in the business, and he's been a very special person in my life.
Dean, if you go back to the age of 10, you started doing some performing at the age of 10, didn't you?
I did, yeah. I was playing guitar just a little bit before then, and back in those days, we had talent quest circuits, and I'm not sure what they call it these days. There's a lot of these TV programs.
Probably call it Voice or something now.
Yeah, The Voice and the X Factor and those sort of things. But we actually went around the club circuit and performed with wonderful live musicians, and they were called the Talent Quest circuits, and I did that for many years, and then of course I went on to play in in bands and cover bands and those sort of things, and really found a niche in the market with Roy Orbison, and I just look back at my career, and I never dreamt for one moment that I would be performing as Roy Orbison for so many years, and been to so many different places, not only around Australia but right around the world. It's just been fantastic.
Well, was that voice of yours, wasn't it? Was recognised in that talent quest, as you said there, and
yes.
Recognised through that, and you went on. The talent quest was called "Follow That Dream," I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It was pretty much based on a UK show called Stars in Their Eyes, which ran for many, many years over there, and it really just everyday normal people that sounded like their idols and looked like their idols, and that's what I did, and it just snowballed from there. And shortly after that time, I got to work with Larry Mahobrak, who was Elvis's piano player in the TCT band, and we worked with a 25-piece symphony there, and that was just fantastic. And as you mentioned, here I am, 20 years down the track, and it's just been such a wonderful ride, and it's something that I never take for granted, that's for sure.
Did you ever see yourself as a young kid at the age of 10 or 15 getting into performing in such a way? I know at 15 you had conquered the pub circuits, you'd been doing clubs and restaurants and so on. Was it at that point that you said to yourself, gee, I'd like to do this full time?
Oh, definitely. It's always been, yeah. I think it's just something that's in your blood, and I was always going to do something in the business. But as I said, and never set out to perform as Roy Orbison. I think it's fate, and it's meant to be, and it's just been absolutely wonderful, and I hope it continues on for many years to come.
Dean, what is it with Roy Orbison? There's something, isn't there, that's hung on for so many years there, and we all sort of love his voice, we love the music of Roy. Can you pinpoint anything there?
I think first and foremost it was his ability to touch people through his vocals, which were just, even to this day, there's probably not many people that can touch Roy in that manner, but I think just his songwriting ability too, which is, his voice really overshone that, but he was an incredible songwriter who had the ability to touch people through his lyrics as well, and put that with his vocals, and how shy and humble he was about things, and it's just a recipe for genius, and that's exactly what Roy was.
His words and the music were almost like a story, weren't they?
They were, and that's just another way that he was able to reach out, and through his music, he wrote music about life and love and all of those things, and people could relate to it, and I think that's why he was so popular.
There was a lady in Perth I was reading about the other day, Elizabeth Pickering. She once said about you, and as a quote, "It was like Roy Orbison here in person." That's a great compliment, isn't it?
It is, and it's. I'm always very, very humbled by what people have to say about myself and my performance, and it makes it all worthwhile. I'm always. It's never come easy for me. It's something that I at times struggle with, and why people want to have a photo with me or want my autograph or those sort of things. But I guess I have that ability to bring happiness and joy through Roy's music, and some people say it's a real gift, and I guess it is, and so it is nice when people say those lovely things about you. It's all worthwhile, that's for sure.
Dean, you come across on air as being a very humble person. That's lovely to hear what you're saying there. It really is. It really is nice. You're not affected by the industry at all. You go out there, you entertain, and you'll sign, you'll have photos. So many stars today won't do things like that.
It's a funny thing. And my dad always said, my dad is, I love my dad, and he's always been one of my harshest critics, and he taught me that from a very young age, to be humble, and he always said that there's always someone better than you out there, whatever you do. And it's not really about who's the best, or, it's just about, bringing joy and happiness through music, and in particular through Roy's music. And hopefully I'm going to be able to do that for many, many, many years to come.
Do you have a favourite of the Roy Orbison songs?
I do. I mean, my favourite song is "Crying," and that's because that's the first song I ever heard him sing, and even as a young boy, I just knew how special he was. I thought, listen to this voice, and he was just brilliant, Roy, and he's just in a kind of a weird way. I feel very close to him. There's a real closeness and connection with Roy. So it's a wonderful thing.
So that features a lot in your show, I'd say. Do you wrap up with "Crying" at the end?
No, I don't. I finish with another song, but you'd probably be able to guess what the song is I finish the show with. But "Crying" it's one of the nicest parts in the show, and I've sung that song hundreds of times over the years, and every time I sing it, it's just like the very first time that I've sung it. It's such a beautiful song and moving song.
Dean, there are so many wonderful songs, aren't there? They're just fantastic. Now, you're coming down to the Frankston Arts Centre. What's the date you're going to be there, please?
Is it 24th of June? It's only a few weeks.
Yeah, it is. 3 weeks.
There. Yeah, 3 weeks. And, Frankston's one of those places on the map that it's one of the highlights for me. We do about 80 shows a year, and we really love it. It's just such a beautiful place down there, and we've had wonderful support over the years, and, that's why we keep coming back, because just wonderful people.
And it's wonderful music as well. Dean, I do thank you for your valuable time today, and I dare say we'll see you on the night, mate. You take care. A lot of good luck to you, and keep up your wonderful career.
It's my absolute pleasure. Thank you, man. It's always lovely to talk to you.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye to you.
Bye-bye.
Dean Bourne there, talking to us about his show coming up, Roy Orbison Reborn, 24th of June at the Frankston Arts